Wait, listen, I got something to tell you guys. Listen to me for a second. It's very important. So, if you guys follow the channel, I'm Tony from the Garage Mind Podcast. I'm the host, and I'm going to give you guys a little insight. If you've been following the show, you guys know about I have a ULP right now. I'm a Teamster, and we have a ULP strike with my company right now. I'm in Illinois. My company has other locations in different states, and we're going to go out to St. Louis today, and I'm going to take a backstage look, behind the scenes kind of thing. Of course, we're going to go out there and give support to our other locals out there, our other Teamsters brothers and sisters from 688 and 600. We're going to do a podcast with them, talk about how it is out there, how it is working for our company out there, see if it's similar to what we got going on here, because they have a strike also. They're doing a ULP as well, and they haven't worked in 8 weeks just like us. So we're coming up on a little more than 2 months now. So it's very serious, very near to my heart, and I hope you guys enjoy the journey. And I'm going to take you guys with us, and you're going to get like a backstage view. All right, let's go. Well, you done it? Well, guys, welcome back to the Garage My Podcast. I'm Tony as always, and today I'm out here in St. Louis. You guys know about the ULP going on with my company. Well, my company has companies in other states as well, and we're visiting them, our fellow Teamsters, brothers and sisters. And today I got Beth. Beth is with me. She works in the warehouse here. She's going to talk about, Beth, what's going on over here.
So we were currently in contract negotiations. I've worked here 21 years. This is my 6th contract, and they are trying to change the strike language. The pay is minimal. The pay increases they're offering are minimal, and we ended up out on strike out here, first time ever since I've worked here.
So how is it, like, walk me through your day-to-day here? How is it? Because everybody knows how it is. Breakthrough, we got new management going on there, and they're kind of pushing us to our limits. No limitations on the routes, no limitations on the cases, stuff like that. Not really giving a shit about our day-to-day. This ULP for us, for me, it's about quality of life. It's about, preserving our work, preserving our bodies so we can get home to our families and, we can have a good career like everybody before us. And the ULP is also on the language to extend, as you know, as well. So, like, what does that language mean to you? What does it mean to keep that in the contract? Make sure you get a fair contract.
So what that means to me, I probably won't be around for the next contract. This is all about the future employees that are going to be left behind in this warehouse after I'm gone. And that is what is important.
Thank you for that too, because I'm a little bit, been in the game for a long time, but I've been with Breakthrough only about 5 years. So, I come with friends with a lot of the guys have been there 22 years. My steward, Brian, has been there for 22 years. My another good friend, Eddie, is also our steward. He's been there 8 years. And, I want to have a career like you did. You know what I mean? I want to have a career like they did. And they just want to take away, as a union, the strike language means everything.
It does. It's protection for us to make sure that they have to negotiate in good faith. And up until Breakthrough, we always negotiated in good faith with major brands before we became Breakthrough. And since Breakthrough has come in, our benefits have gotten really expensive. There's too much gray area in our contract. So when they say we only have to work 14-hour days a year, they'll say, well, if we work 13 hours and 59 minutes, then that's not a 14-hour. And so they push us, and they push, and they push, and they get to call the shots on everything that happens in that warehouse. And this is our only chance to stand up for ourselves, is this contract.
Now, you said it best. Protection is the word. And a lot of people don't get it. Like, back at home, a lot of people think that this is just about striking. It's about the union fighting them. No, but it's about us, because the language, like, we've had to extend. Like, I've been to Delaware, I've been to Minnesota, a couple other states, and that gives us, because not only are we not operating at full capacity, now you take it to other breakthroughs, and in that thought, now they want to talk. Because when you start messing with their money is when they start paying attention. You know what I mean? So to take that away would take all our leverage. That'd be all our leverage. That'd be all our power. And like you said, you guys have only been Breakthrough for how long?
3 years.
Okay, so before
Complete Breakthrough.
3 years?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously my company's been a little longer with Breakthrough, but that's the same. Like, you guys are feeling what we felt for the last probably, I think 2010 is when they started with Breakthrough. And it's just like they come in and they take all, like, for example, for one of us, we have a 10-hour guarantee. It was always 10-hour guarantee. It was understood. We make them the money. We go out, we do our job, and they leave us alone. we come in before 10, we still get our 10. It doesn't matter. Now, since there was a little gray area, as you said earlier, in the contract, they found out that they don't exactly have to give us the 10. So now take it away. And why? Because they want
Because
it.
they can't.
Absolutely. And that right there is the problem. And it's not only my thing too, we're extending to other companies as well. It's not just a breakthrough problem. It is for us, but it's worldwide. You know what I mean? So once corporations have all the power and the people who make them the money don't have anything, that's when it becomes a problem. It's
For
just
everybody.
for everybody.
For everybody.
Absolutely.
And like you, we have extended also. So I actually traveled to Kansas City and we extended down there. Of course, they call the police on you every time.
First move.
And there's
Which we're
two,
not doing anything illegal.
right, exactly. And there's two of us that are out there on the line, and they call 5 cop cars show up, 5 police cars. And the policeman, I guess the company has spoke with him, and the policeman says, "Why are you here?" And I said, I'm striking in front of the company I work for. And he said, "You're from St. Louis." I said, "I work at Breakthrough. I'm striking in front of Breakthrough. So it doesn't matter that I work in St. Louis. A company is a company is a company, no matter where they're located. And I can strike in front of any Breakthrough that I choose to strike in front of."
Now, I don't know if you know too, but the laws recently changed in our favor too. Breakthrough used to be able to, each location was a different location. Now it's one company. So now we can extend, we even have more of the power because now they're one company as a whole. It's not Breakthrough St. Louis, it's not Breakthrough Cicero, it's Breakthrough everywhere. So, and that's exactly, and I said it as well too. I went to a couple of states, and it's funny because they do that. They do the scare tactics. They call the police. They threaten our jobs. They threaten the guys like we had, for example, in Lexington. The guys went back after they respected our picket line, and they told them they were fired. So they were out for a week, and then we got the jobs back. They were able to walk back in the door, and that's what companies like this are really good at doing. I call it scare tactics. They could call it strategy, whatever they want to call it. That's what it is. They scare people like us. We're blue class college people. We need to go to work. We need to make money for our families. And they think by doing that we're just going to obey and we're going to listen. And we got some of those guys too. But that's why I tell everybody it's about getting educated. Because if you understand your rights and you understand what the Teamster, what the union stuff for us, that language protects our right to do what we're doing. And the police understand that as well. They're part of unions. And then they come out and they end up taking pictures with us and they stand with us.
Right.
And like you guys have, I saw the other day, police were out here taking pictures because lawfully we're within our rights.
Correct.
We're not doing anything wrong. We're not doing illegal activities. Anything that, some people don't, the union, we're not the union of past, we do everything by the law. We respect that, but we're not going to give up and we're not going to stand down. And, as we were telling them when we're doing negotiations, is it's about our longevity and just quality of life. That's all it is. Quality of life doesn't cost you a thing.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to get the point across is that, they give us a raise and then they raise our benefits so much that we don't get a raise. And that's just not fair, right? Everything in the world is going up right now and it's not coming back down.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I just want a fair wage increase. And they're making money and they're doing what we're putting it out the door for them. We're their last line of defense as far as against the customer, for the customers and out on the street. And you think that they would actually take more interest in us and making sure that we had what we needed to make that job happen for them.
And you said it perfectly. We were talking about it earlier. I just think it's funny. And I used to try to understand, but now I'm just I try to get in their head and understand where they're coming from. But just to put it in perspective, there's another company, Southern Glacier, Wine Glacier, and they do the same thing we do on a bigger scale. And they give those workers the full respect they deserve.
100%.
All the things we're asking for, and we would tell them that across the table, are already being done from a corporation, a private, by the way, corporation, just like you guys, that
they're a competitor.
Yes.
Their biggest competitor.
They're the biggest competitor, number one in wine and spirits in the nation. And they are more states, more people, yes, but they do the same thing. They give all this is respect. Give us the wages. Give us everything that's fair. Competitive wages.
Correct.
Fair wages. We're not asking for anything over the top. Fair insurance, competitive insurance with, those standards, with the standards that Southern already gives their workers. And, they would say, oh, we don't know if we could do it. It's being done. So, I don't want to hear it. It's being done. So why can't you guys do it?
Right.
What is the problem?
Well, the day we went on strike, they bought 2 distributorships. So they obviously have income and the money to buy 2 big distributorships in 2 different states.
Let's break it down from to the base. Breakthrough is a distributor, correct?
Correct.
And who gets out the product? We do. So they're always telling us, they told us across the table a lot, whatever it may be, liquors are down, weeds up, this and that, we're losing money. Just to put it in perspective, at least for my warehouse, I can't speak for all of them. They make anywhere from 8 to 9 million per day. Breakthrough as a whole, everybody, they made $250 billion last year. So to tell me that you can't fairly increase our wages, you can't pay into our pensions a little more, give us the strike language, something that wouldn't cost you a thing if
Doesn't
you would
cost a
just
thing.
follow the rules.
Right.
That's it. I mean, it's that simple, and I don't understand. And my thought for coming out here too, we wanted to meet all you guys. You guys got a good crew too. It's a little different our situation. You guys are the warehouse and you have the contract.
The warehouse and the drivers. And the warehouse, yes, we were negotiating our contracts when it expired. And the strike language was a non-negotiation for them. It's a non-negotiation for us. So we did what we could, and that is to go out on strike.
And it's like, you hear the whispers too of just call them, whatever we talk. We've been talking and we told them not to leave the holiday we did. And this is a non-negotiable. You said it best for us and for them. We get it. But you have to
Compromise someplace.
You have to discuss. That's what fair practice is. Right. You have to sit at the table and we have to fairly, because we'll work with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
You work with us, we'll work with you. They told us no. They said we're prepared, and they walked out the door. So right there.
And we all talked about it earlier. They actually created a strike by trying to prevent a strike. If they wouldn't mess with the strike language, we would still be in there negotiating with them fairly, and they just walked away from it.
Absolutely. Almost like they wanted this.
It is almost like they wanted it. Yes.
And I understand they're a corporation, we're a union. I get it. It's always been, they always butt heads, but
they shouldn't.
Absolutely.
Because we help them and they help us. So why is it always us against them? I don't understand that mentality. And we have that problem in this warehouse where they try and pit the night shift against the day shift, and the day shift against the night shift, and the day shift and the night shift against the drivers, and vice versa. And then the management against the union, and that gets nothing done for you, except it keeps us from, I guess, trying to fight with you. And all they've done with this is they have made us more solid out here than we have ever been. Night shift, day shift, and drivers. We're learning about each other. We're learning about each other's jobs. We're learning about what it takes to get our job done and why sometimes your job is hard because our job is hard. So they haven't done anything but unify us more than we ever have been.
You hit it on the head. I was talking to my BA because you guys been out as long as us. It's 9 weeks now. We're going on 9 weeks.
I think we're at 54, 55 days.
So a little over 2 months now that we've been doing this.
And I thought this was going to last 2 weeks and they would actually get some common sense and take us back to the table and let's negotiate this out, right?
Honestly, I thought it would be shorter for you guys as well, too, because you guys have drivers and warehouse.
Correct.
I think it's a bigger picture. Florida pissed them off. Florida sent a wave, and they didn't expect that, and they weren't ready for that. That's fine. But Florida was doing the same thing we're doing now, too. They're trying to get fair contracts, and they got it. And I don't understand where... And you said it on the head the best. They wanted this. I think they wanted this strike. That's my opinion. I think they wanted this, but I don't think they included now. Even some of the guys, we got some of the guys that maybe aren't so pro-union and stuff like that back at home. Whatever the problem is, I came from a bad union, so I get that too. All unions aren't the same. But now because we work with 115 guys, and I see guys every day, and you say, hey, how you doing, man? Whatever, you just passing, being nice in the morning, but I don't really know that guy. And now we've sat down. We all know each other. We know you have families. We know, hey, he's got 2 daughters. He's got 2 sons. He does this, and we're tight. Now we're unbreakable. Now it's 100%. We don't have a single driver that's crossed, and we don't have a single driver that wants to cross. We all know each other on a personal level now, and we have a deeper connection between all of us now. And I don't think they were ready for that, but not even us.
I don't think they were ready for that either, because out of the whole warehouse, only one person crossed. I don't think he realized the chaos that was going to be in that warehouse with having the techs come in and try and do a job that I've been doing for 21 years. And they're getting a crash course, a 30-minute crash course, and being told, go do this.
And that's the thing too. The type of people that come in there, whatever they're trying to, I'm not gonna bash anybody. They're scabs, as we call them, but they're trying to make money. I get it. I'm not gonna anybody who wants to work. I'm never gonna say anything.
But they absolutely have no loyalty
and have no idea what they're doing.
No,
You know what I mean? We've done this for years.
And I'm not saying they're not trying, but they don't know how to do it like I know how to do it.
Absolutely, they don't have the experience. This is, I don't know about you, but I take pride in whatever I do.
Correct.
Especially work. And I take pride in my job. I get it done. My customers are always happy. I help inside. When I come back, I help the warehouse guys. I unload my truck. I'm good friends with them as well. And, it puts us in a weird place too, because the guys back at home in the warehouse, some of those guys are my friends as well. But it goes back to a point you made earlier. This and, now meeting other breakthroughs and other people, other breakthroughs. This is a society that they built. They built hate between us. Between drivers to warehouse to mechanic, warehouse to salesman. They say we talk bad about that, and they say we talk bad. And now we meet these guys, and that's not the case.
No.
That, they create that divide, and, they probably want it. And now, because of this, I've had salespeople come out to me, even before the rumor started that we might walk out. And they said, listen, man, I don't know if you know, but there was 500 across the board that they fired. I was 150 out of our warehouse alone between salespeople, merchandisers. The credit department is gone.
Our credit department's gone too. IT is gone.
They wiped those people. And I had the ones that were left, salespeople that got bumped on the merchandisers, which, annually can be a $30,000 decrease in pay. And I had this lady tell me, I've had to sell my house. I don't have the money. I'm not making the money I'm making anymore. Like, we hope, we're riding on the backs of you guys to make a change in this place. And, and that, that fired me up. The fact that not only are we trying, and you said it to yourself, you might not be here for the next contract. You're doing it for the people ahead of you. And thank you for that. Like, that's what this is about. It's bigger than us.
It's
bigger about
us.
One location.
Right.
It's bigger than just the drivers and warehouse. We're trying to change the culture for everybody that works for Breakthrough.
Correct. And there's no reason that we need to be doing this. I don't understand how it got this far. And they have created all this, and they don't seem to be concerned with their business, with our customers, with us at all. They're just worried about their bottom line. And I don't believe that their bottom line is as high as it was when we were working.
Absolutely. I don't see, you even see with our warehouse, we have 115 guys. So all 115 trucks are going out when we were there, and some more. They bring in, we have a temp agency called Rent, and they use Local 3. Some of those guys can drive. That's how they're getting most of our work out, but they're renting U-Hauls, Penske's. If you got a license, you could take, I saw the janitor the other day driving. If you got a license, you're taking it out. But how can you tell me that we're running at full capacity when you're not even, they're taking out of that 115 trucks, they're taking out 40 trucks, and they got the rest in U-Hauls. There's no way U-Haul's filling up 500, 600 of our cases. So, you're definitely losing out, but what is your bottom dollar? Like, what is the thought here?
And that's what is their end game with all this? What do they think is going to happen? We're out here. We don't really want to be out here. We like our job. We like our customers.
Absolutely.
We'd rather be working, but we're fine out here. We're out here for as long as we need to be. And I don't think they understand that. I think they thought people were going to cross back over.
Our management fought, and they said it across the table that, we got guys, they're not going anywhere. They'll be here. Do what you got to do. And, they got a rude awakening. The guys, like I said, we had 100% success. The guys have not wavered, and it sucks. The point you just said hit something for me, especially. I love my job. I've done this industry for a very long time. I love my customers. I still have my customers call me, hey, Tony, when are you coming back? This and that. They do everything they can try to do to help, but like you were talking about earlier, they have bars, they have businesses, they have to run it. Unfortunately, they have to get the product. But, I'm getting calls every day. The guy they brought in here, he was an asshole. He didn't give me the right cases. He didn't this and that. They got that going on now. And it's, they have a big banner we saw when we walked in for negotiations. It's in the main part of our location. And it says, what's the acronym? It's GMTYW. It's get more than you deserve. And that's their motto for Breakthrough. That's their motto that they pitch their customers. I don't know if you guys have it.
No, we have something in one of the, I can't remember the acronym, but one of the things is find different ways to think differently. And I'm like, well, they never do that. Why do they expect me to do that?
They're definitely thinking differently.
Yeah.
That's I guess so.
Yeah.
But if the thought is that you have to get rid of the union, it's not going to happen. I mean,
No, that's never going to happen.
have fun with that because the IBT is stronger than ever, and you know what? They're taking care of us. So I'll stay out here as long as we have to.
That's
to
how
get
I
the
feel.
message off. And like it's cool to come out here too. Obviously, you got the same vibe. Your guys get it, and it's nice, because I think personally with my local, I think they're very good at educating the guys, and obviously your local is very good at doing that as
Mhm.
well. And that's very important because a lot of people who don't understand, like, hey, I'll give you an example. For the Florida strike, we had a couple guys that crossed, couple drives. They didn't quite understand what Florida was trying to do. It only lasted 3 days, granted. But once they understood, when they came back in and talked to our guys and understand like what was going on, like you may have affected somebody not in a better life. They understood. They didn't want to do that again. So
Right.
now when we're here and they know what it stands for, everybody's out. Everybody understands. And I hope they understand that there's no way you're going to pitch it to these guys, to all of us, that you have our best interest at heart. Because you don't.
They do not.
And I mean, I don't know what they tell their own guys that they got in there. They're tense. These guys, you said it earlier, no loyalty. It's just in there to fill a void for a little bit so they figure it out. But none of these guys have any loyalty in this place that are in there now, that are in ours today. They're making fun of us. I mean, we got videos that we're getting because some of our guys talk to these guys. A lot of these guys, what they did is they were very smart when they did it on Cicero. A lot of the guys were temps with their CDLs. So they were going out with us. They became friends with us. They understand the routes and stuff like that. So we got some guys going out, know what they're doing. But those guys are sending us videos. They're drinking the liquor. They're stealing their liquor. They're putting it out. We got videos. Social media is a motherfucker nowadays.
Yeah.
We got people, they're taking liquor out of trucks, handing it to them. There's some trucks that are disappearing. There's some trucks that are wrecked. I mean, you name, where does it stop?
Right.
Where do you come back and sit and talk with? So if there's anything you would like to say, just
I mean, I think at this point it's just a simple ego. I think it's one person that wants this done. He doesn't have to deal with any of this. We've had a supervisor quit, a manager quit, we've had a salesperson quit, and I think another driver supervisor quit. So you're not only losing loyal customers, because eventually those customers are going to find a different rail. They're going to find a different call drink that they can supplement for what they would get from here.
Absolutely.
And what's to say they're going to start buying that product from you again?
Well, they already know. Like for us too, this is our third one now in 4 years. So we struck 4 years ago for our contract. Then we stepped out for Florida. And now we're striking for ours. And it's like if I have a product and I want to sell it, why would I want to go to Breakthrough? You guys, you can't even keep your drivers there, your warehouse there. You know what I mean? That's my point too. So at what point do you guys realize you're ruining your business? They may be running right now the machine. And that's the problem too. I'm sure you have some contracts that are locked in, some brand loyalty, but that brand loyalty is going to stop. It's not going to
Correct.
keep going.
If their product's not getting out, they're eventually going to figure out how to get out of here.
Absolutely. Because if you have a product, your main goal is to make money as well. And if you're not making money, then why am I going to stay with you? And we have big distributors like Diageo, stuff like that, Gallo. Like those are big time people. They're not going to mess around with pay cuts. So if you can't get their product up, maybe you're going to Southern. You're backing out of contracts. And now we have a bigger problem.
Right.
So when does it stop?
Right. Yeah. And I don't understand their end game. I don't understand their business model. And I don't understand where they think unhappy employees get the most production. I don't understand that about corporations. And when they can fire a whole credit department in 1 month, they got rid of the whole credit, all the IT. And one of our IT people had actually moved up here from Kansas City, moved his family, bought a house, was here for about 3 or 4 months. And they said, yeah, we don't need you anymore. Now they're contracting somebody that doesn't know our systems. I mean,
it's like India. I've called it before. They have
no
idea.
They actually have a guy in the warehouse now who's doing, But every time he messed with my computer when I was back at my job, I'd have to go get him and say, I'm locked out again. What did you do? Nobody can get in the computer now.
Wow.
And so he'd fix it for us. But do you see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, the other guy that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have had to wait an hour before I could log in.
Yeah, you
so I can
just
find
took my
you.
time away.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly.
To get something done. Imagine that. Now I'm sitting here floating around with the computer. And that's the thing too. Like our credit department. So I had a customer recently, which this is wild too. I went to a stop and they tell him he calls about the check. So he's calling that new credit department. He needs to get a pre-check ready for them. The total is always off. So he calls in and some guy like in India picks up, doesn't even like it's not from here, like it's out of state. Even the number was weird. I never saw it. And the guy, he couldn't find his account. Like it was, I sat at a stop for an hour. I mean, the guy was trying to figure out the stop, this and that. And then he finally got to it, finally figured it out. The guy had like a $4,000 credit. How does that get that far? I mean, this is the new system. So this guy, I mean, he never has to pay for the next 10 orders if he doesn't want to. You know what I mean? With that kind of credit.
Right.
So he's pissed off, and here you go. And these guys, I don't know if they're cashing in on how these brands have been loyal, because our contract is, I mean, probably 60 years old. I mean, the Warts family, that's who owned us previously, has been around for 65 years. And it's like, I don't know if they're cashing on their loyalty, but that's only going to last. Money talks for them too. So, I mean, those brands are going to start moving.
Right. And that's the other thing I don't understand. The co-owners of this company, I can't believe, have not stepped in and said, hey, what's going on? It just seems, you would think that they would be more worried about their business.
It's your money.
Yeah.
I worry about my money. You know what I mean? I worry where it's going. I invest in it. You know what I mean?
And if you've been owners of companies for that long, then you obviously know what it takes to have a happy employee that's going to give you good production. So why are you letting somebody mess with that?
And that's the thing too. So like, you know, the talk for us is, like I said, we were owned by the Wards, and the father guy, Rocky, great guy. They ran the company. Tito's, for perspective, Tito's is in every other state is owned by Southern. We run Tito's in Illinois because he pitched it to him. He got it. He got there literally just for Illinois. That's what I was told. It might be, I'm pretty sure it's Southern everywhere else, but we're exclusive runners of Tito's in Illinois, and where it would normally be Southern. And that's how good he was. And he passed away, and you know, this is not facts. This is talking from what I hear and how I feel. I think the family kind of stepped back and just said, you know, just give us our money and kind of handle it. I know Danny Warts is on the board now but that's the same thought I had. You see the dip, you see we're on strike again, and he actually showed his face for the Florida one. He was there. So what did your thought be? Why, what's going on here? You know, what did you want to know?
Right.
I mean,
that's what I would be. And, again, I've been here 21 years. We've never had to do this. So what is different? This is the first contract with Breakthrough.
That's the problem too. You said it. They've been I think we've been Breakthrough for 10 years now. But before that, we were fine. And then, all of a sudden, they got new hire management, and it kind of just changed. It shifted. Whether some of those guys are from Cisco, whether I talked to Cisco drivers too, that they're not very happy. They're trying to get a better contract too. But our upper management now is Cisco guys, and they're Cisco guys. Cisco went on strike. I think it was like 5 years ago, and they were running it then. And now look where they're at now, and we're having the same problem.
Correct.
So is it them?
Right.
They say it's us. I mean, there's a common denominator in all these strikes. So it could be you guys.
I would think, yes.
So, and something real quick you said, and it just, it puts a little, I have a little fear too, where you said earlier that, if the customers don't stay loyal and start going somewhere else, where does that leave us too? That thought's in my mind too. Are we coming back to anything if you guys keep the shit up?
Right.
What are we coming back to? And at that thought, we'll visit that bridge if that ever comes. But, come on, guys. Get us back to work. Get us doing what we do best. We'll make your money, and there's no problems. Why you making problems? And I think it has a lot to do with what you said, ego. I think it is ego, and I think it is. We're union busters. We're not stopping. Well, we're gonna have a long time.
Yeah, you should have bought this company if you're union busters, because we're union.
Absolutely. And you that's another thing that I would like to say too. I know when it comes to corporate, they always think they know better than us. They're big time. But you bought this company, you inherited it. You didn't make it what it was. So,
no.
And you're only making it worse now. So,
and you can have all the corporate meetings, all the board meetings in the world that you want. not going to get the product out on your street. It's just not.
This company was running. You bought it because it was profitable. So keep it profitable and let's go back to work. Sit down, just talk. Come to the table. Let's talk.
Keep the language the same way it's been. I've only been here 21 years. There's people that have been here 30 years. It's that language has been there in the contract from the beginning. So I don't understand why you would want to change that. And that is what is creating the strike for you right now.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you because it's hot. I'm sweating.
Yes, I know. It's fighting. Yeah.
And I'm glad you guys get it out here. You have a very nice group of people out here.
Thank you.
It's nice meeting you guys. I'm glad I came out here. And just keep it up because we will too. I'm saying you.
Thanks. Stand together. Go
Thanks.
Union.
Welcome back to the Garage Mind, guys. Tonight I have
Alonzo
with me. And, like I said, you guys been following the channel. We have a ULP going on with Cicero Breakthrough. I'm a driver there, as you guys know. And it's just about, fair practice. It's about the strike language. It's about extending lines. It's about, basically our leverage to keep the company in check, our rights, not violating them. Because they're really good at doing that. So I want to come out to St. Louis with the guys and, support those guys as well because they're going through the same thing. It's a little different here. They have contracts for the drivers and the warehouse. So like back at home, the warehouse is still working. So I just want to see if it's a little bit of the same working for Breakthrough out here, as well as back in Cicero, and see what these guys are going through. These guys are Teamsters as well. And we want to show our brothers and our sisters some support. So I'm talking to Alonzo.
Yes,
correct?
sir.
All right. So introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are.
Hey, my name is Alonzo. I'm driving here for Breakthrough. Also, local 6 here. I'm here doing our strike, man. Spending our work, spending our time, trying to let people know that we're not to be played with. You're here with me in business, and we're going to serve as long as we need to be, man, to get what we want.
Yes, sir. And so the warehouse is 688. You guys are 600?
600, yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So a little bit, what's your day to day? How many stops are you normally going out? How many cases normally go out?
A normal day, man, between 19 and 24, 25 stops, something like that, maybe.
Okay.
5 to 600, something, 600 plus case day, something like that, yeah.
Same thing. So we're doing the same thing too, but in our contract, so to give you perspective about, because they say the new regime, that's what they call it. They're making things better for us. They're making things easier.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Allegedly is the word, man. We keep using that. Everything's allegedly. That's a good word. I like that. So they're telling us, I'm going to give you how good they are. So we had a 10-hour guarantee in Ireland. It was always sort of disrespected. It wasn't guaranteed.
But
it says guaranteed, but that's just the verbiage. They could pull it anytime they wanted to or make us earn it as they do now.
Wow.
So, we would stay out. We would get the job done early. We got a lot of guys that want to knock it out, go home, see their kids, whatever it may be.
hopefully still the same 10 hours.
Exactly. And then we started to find out that they pulled it. So now you had to stay for your 10. And if you got done early, you'd go sit in the cafeteria, put it in your thumb, sit in the car. They didn't give a shit.
Right.
So now, the guys that were used to that, which they're doing nothing wrong, still making the same money for them. They didn't lose anything. Why take that away from us if you respect us so much? So that's kind of what's going on. And then I'm starting to understand that the culture is the same. So a little bit about, back home, they pin everybody against us. The drivers talk shit about the warehouse.
Right.
The customers don't like us, whatever. And then we meet these guys and the warehouse, some of my best friends work in the warehouse.
Right.
So the salesmen, they meet us. Man, they told us not to trust you guys. You guys are union. We don't like you guys.
Yep.
And then they get to know us and they realize that's not it. So that's a breakthrough thing. And I was starting to hear a little bit from Beth. Is that what goes on here as well? Do you know any of your warehouse guys? Yeah, that's what I call it. High school.
It's like high school, yeah, man.
Exactly.
I've been getting to know more warehouse guys. It's much more than out here. Before I just talk to my past, and then I come in, drive and check in and stuff like that, new theft and stuff. And damn now, shit.
It's good. I'm horrible with names. I was just talking about this.
Yeah, like Beth and Don and stuff like that. But I've been out with you guys now. I've been traveling, picking up like Phoenix and Kansas City. I've been getting to know.
Oh, nice. You guys went out there? Nice. Yeah, we were, and that's kind of what it's about too, the strike language. I've been telling everybody, the key word for me is get educated.
Yeah.
Because some of the guys, I'll put in perspective, we had Florida strike, right? We had a couple of drivers pass, and they didn't get it. They just thought, they were being selfish. They thought it was just about Florida. They didn't understand that it was getting, Florida needed a contract. They wanted some of the things that we have. We're blessed to have some of the things we have, and the halls that we have that fight for us, the locals. And so they didn't get it, but now we educated them. Our hall, and it looks like your hall does a very good job at educating them on what matters and what the strike language is all about. So we've had 100% of the drivers. Even there's some of the guys that I didn't think were going to do it, So we had 100%. They get it. They understand. Just like you said with the extending, you went to other people. That's what it's about because money is the only thing that matters to them. And all right, we shut us down, but now we shut down Arizona. We shut down Lexington. We shut down Minnesota. Now there's a problem. Now we want to talk. They lose instead of losing 10 million, they're losing 60 million. Right. Now things are slow it down a little bit. Now they have a problem with that. Because as they made it very clear to us, because for us negotiating, all it was about is longevity. Like Beth, she's been here 20 something years. I want to do that. You know what I mean? I've been in this industry, but I've only been with Breakthrough for 4 years. I've been in this industry for 10. I want to be, I'm friends with like my steward, Brian. It's been there 22 years. I'm friends with guys like Eddie, our other steward, been there 8 years. Yeah, exactly. And I want longevity like them. I want to be here, raise my kids, right? Like Gabe was saying the other day, that's Gabe, that's our VA. He has his grandkids now that have a good life. His kids had a good life because of our work. We love our work. And I would love to have the same opportunities as them. And, that's kind of the same what you guys are looking for too, right? To keep it. They had the contract. She was saying they were a company before Breakthrough for, I think, 20 plus years. And everything was fine. Same thing with us. Breakthrough steps in. They get greedy. COVID kind of set the tone for a little more money, and those numbers aren't realistic. And now they want that same money. So the thought is run us till we can't. We're gonna start having injuries. You're gonna quit. You're gonna be You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just gonna.
So actually, right now, I have a focus comp case against Breakthrough right now, man. Like, not to keep mentioning that for years, like.
Yeah.
And they didn't seem to prep with it at all. Even in my workload, I tried to get so much. I know I work. I don't mind working. I'm not going to complain about working, but I'm not a cake driver either.
Yeah.
So for me delivering cases,
you're gonna respect me.
I shouldn't have 15 cakes on my truck either. Knowing I would injury against this company, if I'm gonna have 15 cakes on my truck as a case driver, it makes zero sense. Then let me know how much you really care about me as a worker, driver, as a person.
I'm gonna give you an example perfect for that scenario. I worked for beer for 8 years. I was the keg guy most of those years. So I had a keg follow me. I blew out my L4, L5. I was out of work for almost 2 years. 2 years, which won me $150,000 lawsuit. But I mean, that's what these guys don't understand. This job is not easy.
No.
You have not picked up a case. You have not picked up a keg. You have not been on the truck, even though they'd like to tell us they were. They named somebody. And when we asked that person, have they ever been on the truck? No, liar, Tron. Anyway. That's his name, by the way, Big Tron boy. But they don't, and I'm not trying to hype myself up or any of that, but it's hard what we do. It's labor, and I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I'm not afraid. I've done hard work my entire life. That's not the problem. The longevity and the way of life is the problem. I want to be able to come home to my family, to my wife, and go on a date or have a weekend or a life. Exactly, a life. And I don't know about you, but I can't do that. Pushing the cases they're pushing now, pushing which we make, to put it in perspective too, we make them anywhere from 8 to 9 million a day per day. Breakthrough last year, we recorded, because they're a private investor as well. They recorded 250 billion. So you're telling me that you can't give us that? Where's the problem here? Where does that lie?
Yeah.
You know where the problem lies? Corporate greed. They're greed.
Yeah.
Because they think we don't get educated, but we do. We get educated on it. And, I was talking to Beth, not to bring them up, Gabe, but Southern, their competitor, their biggest competitor. They're in, 22 states, 23 states, and they respect their workers. They give up everything we ask for, everything that we ask for in our contract, and I'm sure you guys are asking for, they give to them. No problem, no questions asked. Our negotiations, 17 days when they walked out they walked out in 18 days. Southern's was done in 4 days. The thought is people would say, oh, they can't do that. They do it.
Yeah, do.
Our biggest competitor does it. No problem. So is there something that maybe that you want to get out to them or get out to your fellow guys? Because you got a good group here as well. So everybody gets it. Is there something that you want to say about anything going on here?
I'm going to give a big shout out, man, to the six, everybody that's coming out here, man. And letting voices be heard and pushing forward to what we need, man, because like I said, they come out next, man, trying to hold it down. And
Absolutely.
And I appreciate everybody's understanding, firm and solidarity to make this happen. It's still be one, man. And I'm very appreciative.
And you know, from everybody from Cicero, we appreciate you guys as well too, because not only are we fighting it for ourselves, but we're fighting it for you guys, and you guys are fighting vice versa. The more you guys stay out, the more we hurt them, the more that helps all of us.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? Because extending too, like my big message was too to explain to those guys, like Minnesota got it, other guys got it too. You guys are next. You know what I mean? They're up. Minnesota's actually up next year, and a couple of those guys. This is going to be your problem too, as well. You know, they're going to try to get this language out, and you guys are going to be sitting in the same place we are. So, you know, we got a little saying going on too, and I hope you guys understand this as well. One day stronger, one day longer. One day longer, one day stronger. And it's never become true. Something I want to talk about before we wrap up here, he kind of talks about it earlier, is that I don't think Breakthrough intended this, but since all of it's been out, you know, we do that every day. You come in, hey, how you doing? How's today doing? You know, hey, same shit, different day, the kind of talk we have. Now I know everybody. You know, for me, it's stronger. I'm fighting for something bigger than myself. Now, you know, I know this guy has 2 daughters. I know he has 2 sons. I know that, you know, what they're about, the stuff they like to do on the side. Like now we're real friends. We've all become tighter, and we're a bigger community. So they've made us more unified.
Yep, they have. They have. Actually doing this, yes. Like I said, I've gotten to know more of these people. That wouldn't even not no respect. I don't really talk to as much.
Absolutely. I kind of keep to myself.
Yeah. So I keep to myself. But since I'm not, man, it's a really cool group. Like
I mean, sometimes
we have the same thing too. So it's definitely like, you know,
it's
warranted.
And some of the things too, like as you said, like I kind of keep to myself. And some of the guys that I maybe thought were mean guys, or like not the same as me, cool as hell. And I feel like they're my boys now. And it's like, man, it just means a lot. So, you know, from Cicero to Missouri, thank you guys for listening to us. And you know, give us a call. We're here. We're ready to talk. We're ready to sit down, and we're ready to talk fair labor. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate you being on, man.
Yes, man.
Appreciate it. See you guys next time. Peace.